Hi there, welcome to my channel. Well, Friday was a pretty bad day, but things seem to be bouncing back. Still, I only have two ETFs that I own. As you guys can see here on my dividend tracker, I own Wpay and SGov. I sold out of CSHI because I noticed that it was somewhat more affected by the tariff news on Friday, and SGov seems to be much more stable. And this Friday was kind of like a wake-up call for me because I was using quite a bit of margin. As a matter of fact, I was using about $60,000 worth of margin. Not only $60,000 worth of margin, but I also had a $20,000 loan from my bank, which I will soon be paying back completely. So with the new changes that I've made to my portfolio, I should still receive just about $7,000 on a monthly basis in dividends. And so Wpay has already announced this week's dividend. And so I did it on the calculator here. I currently now own 2,317 shares, and they're paying about 85 cents, so it should be about $1,986 on Wednesday. So I'm really looking forward to that. And so let's go over to my actual Robinhood portfolio so you guys can see just what exactly has happened here. As you guys can see, today, and I guess during the pre-market, and early in the pre-market, even on Sunday, the S&P 500 was already rising. And so as you guys can see here, my portfolio is up $4,000. And if we scroll here to Wpay, I'm almost pretty much fairly close to my average cost. My average cost is $54.25. So the current value is $54.18. So very close to my average cost. And I sold off about 1,000 shares of Wpay earlier today, taking about a $600 loss, simply because I just do not want to hold any more margin. This Friday I'm kind of like, it came down so fast, and for tariffs again. So I don't know when this tariff situation is going to end, and now the market is bouncing back, and who knows if there's going to be another some other tariff announcement, or who knows what, right? Who knows what can happen. But nonetheless, I've decided to just completely get out of margin. I am currently still in just about $1,600 worth of margin, $1,600 worth of margin. And so this dividend is going to completely erase that margin. So I'm not too worried about that. And here with SGov, I decided, just like I said earlier, I decided to go with SGov instead, because SGov had absolutely no effect whatsoever from this from Friday's announcement. But CSHI, which is, I guess, somewhat similar to SGov, did kind of dip a little bit on the tariff news. And so that's why I decided to go with SGov, although it pays a little bit less than CSHI. And so I have $120,000 here in SGov, and that extra $20,000 that's there, that's what I'm going to be selling to be able to pay back that $20,000 that I borrowed from the bank. So I'm just going to be paying that off. I'm going to completely get out of debt, and I am no longer going to use any more margin. So let me just show you guys here my buying power and margin. As you guys can see here, I am currently only using $1,600 worth of margin, and this next dividend is going to take care of that. So I'm not worried about that anymore, because I was using about $60,000 worth of margin. Yeah, kind of crazy. So, and that can really magnify losses if I was just thinking, what if it would have been worse, right? What if it would have been like April? That was pretty bad. If this situation would have been like April, yeah, that would have been pretty devastating. I'm glad it was not like back in April on Liberation Day, or at least that's what it was called, Liberation Day. But I think if we look at the actual S&P 500 right now, if we go here, as you guys can see, the S&P 500 is pumping. It's going back up. And if we look at the line right here on the S&P 500 at the line chart, I mean, basically it looks very similar to Wpay. And so Wpay basically is pretty much doing what the S&P 500 is doing. If we look at the past week, there's the dip right there. And this thing's already about halfway up that dip, which in reality, it wasn't really that bad. It was about a 2%, well, I guess almost 4% dip here on the S&P 500. But now it's only down, less than 1%. And so if we switch over to Wpay, if we switch over here to Wpay, let's take a look at Wpay. Let's go for the week. I mean, it looks somewhat similar. So for Wpay, it's still almost 2% in the red. And Wpay was down 4.5%. So a little bit more than the S&P 500. But we are bouncing back here on Wpay, and I am almost right back at my average cost. And another thing that I wanted to show you guys with some of these puts. So if we look at the past week, if you guys see this, this was Friday. So on Friday, this put at the peak was $4.11. If you guys can see it here, just kind of hard to, there it is. $4.11 at the peak. So I could have sold this for $4.11. I bought it for $1.76. Even now I can sell it and actually make some amount of money, but I'm holding this for just in case, in case there's an even larger dip, I guess. Although I think that this is just my opinion. I think that was the bottom of this dip. So, but nonetheless, I'm just going to be holding on to these puts that I have and these longs that I have. And so, yeah, that's an update on my portfolio, and that's an update on what I'm doing here moving forward. Still, I'm looking forward to obviously getting paid that dividend on Wednesday. And I'm continuing with the core compounding that Oracle teaches. Core compounding, and then buying back on days when, the market dips. And so, one of the things is like when the market takes a dump, it's because people are selling. And so it's hard to just hold on. It is difficult. You want to just sell just like everybody else. And when the market's going up, nobody wants to sell, right? The market's going up and up and up, higher and higher and higher. And nobody wants to sell. They just want to continue to hold because it's going higher and higher and higher. And I think that, you know what? It is important to sell. It is important to sell into those pumps because, just like Oracle teaches, it's basically dashboard money. Just like that $4,000 you guys see right there. That's just money that I'm making back. It's not money that I'm actually making because I am still under my average cost. But this dashboard money, like he calls it, that can vanish from one day to the next. From one day to the next, that money can be just gone. And you didn't take it. You didn't take advantage of it. And so I think it is important to take advantage of that money. When you see that money there, I think in my opinion, I think it's better just to take it, if you're above your, I guess, core number is what he calls it. So my new core number, I guess, is going to be, I don't know, once some maybe it's going to be 26,000, I guess. I don't know, something like that. So if I go anywhere above, anything above 26,000, I'm probably going to sell off and put it on the sidelines, probably in the SGov, and then buy back on another dip. And so that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward. I think that next time, in my next video, I will show you guys, if you guys are interested, please let me know if you guys are interested in how to figure out how to buy these puts on Robinhood, and how to choose what strike price to look for. If you guys are interested in that, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be glad to show you guys how I decide how to buy the puts, what strike price to buy the put at, and how to sell a put, how to sell it once once it's in the money. And the only reason that a put would be in the money is if the market crashes. So that's kind of a bummer, but at least it may offset some of the losses, right? So I encourage you to potentially, if you have the opportunity to, if you're using margin, I encourage you maybe that you should probably get out of margin. If you have debt, I would encourage you to probably get rid of your debt, because this situation with tariffs is, I don't know, it's probably not the last time that we're going to hear about it. And it's probably not the last time that it's going to have a negative effect on the market. Probably. I hope not, but, we just don't know. Okay, well, thanks so much. You guys have a good one. Catch you in the next video. God bless. Bye.